Have you ever been in that situation to where you look at all the options and you just see no way of getting out of trouble, and for some reason you just decide to come up with some lame ass excuse to kind of blow over everything, but you know it's not gonna work, but yet you still try it? That's basically what I'm gonna be talking about in this story. So to kind of jump straight into the story, it was with my buddy Diego. Now if you guys don't know who this guy is, you can go watch my OG Trio video or my Tiger the Pimp commentary. Just go to my channel and you guys will find it in the commentaries playlist, or just look through my videos and it'll probably be one of the most recent ones. They're pretty hard to miss, and if you want to go check those out and get a little backstory as to who Diego is, go ahead and check that out. But without further ado, I was with Diego, and what ended up happening was he came down to visit because he went to school with me for a little bit, and I guess he ended up moving to, I think, North Hollywood was what it was, because we lived in California, we lived in LA together, and he ended up moving with his dad, so he went up to North Hollywood, and he kind of was just chilling up there, and it was kind of far away from where we were. So what he would do is he would occasionally come down, and it was kind of, I think it was during the summer is what it was, and he ended up coming down for I think a couple months. We were kind of just chilling with each other, and I think it was like maybe the last couple of weeks of summer, we started to get into some like stupid shit, you know. We started getting bored basically, because you know we kind of explored the whole city over the summer, and being, you know, kids, we wanted to get into some crazy like adrenaline junkie shit, so we would just mess around. I don't know how we got to this point, but what ended up happening was we found some guy who was able to sell some weed, and Diego kind of knew this guy. He was like a family friend, and so we hit this guy up, and he supplies us with the weeds, and we're kind of just waiting, you know, like the perfect time to kind of smoke it. At this time, I was 13, and I think Diego was like 12 and a half or something, so he was a little younger than me, but this fool looks so old, like you guys don't even understand. This guy looks like he's in his 20s or something at the age of like 16 right now, and so he was able to get this stuff from people, and you know, they wouldn't even question it. So what ended up happening was I wasn't really into it. I was kind of like hesitant at first. This was before I even got started into smoking weed. He was like, oh man, you don't have to smoke it, you know, I know how you're really anal about that stuff, you don't have to do any of it, just kind of come spot me, you know, and come hang out with me while we're chilling. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I don't condone it, you know, and I don't even know why you would bring it into my house, because my mom knows how Diego is, and she was kind of like, if he brings any drugs into the house, we're gonna kick him out and he's gonna have to go back to North Hollywood. And I was like, fuck, okay, well, we gotta be really sneaky about it. So what we would do is we'd work out like really late at night. I think like for the past like week, I think for like 3 weeks maybe, we would work out in the home gym that we had at the complex. It wasn't like a home gym, it was like an apartment gym, you know what I mean? So like it was open to everybody in the complex. And so what we would do is we'd go down there and we'd work out for a couple hours, and then we'd come back up and go to sleep. And they would be asleep by then, you know, they wouldn't be suspecting anything. So what happened is we were kind of setting this up, you know, after weeks of preparation, if you will, quote unquote. We kind of just were setting it up to kind of convince, you know, my parents that there would be nothing wrong if we went down there, and we wouldn't be back for a couple hours and it would be all good, normal. They've been doing it for a couple weeks, nothing suspicious, right? So for some reason, this one fateful night, Diego decided that he would bring the weed with him. But I was really anal about this shit, so I was like, no, just leave it here, whatever. And he was like, no, fuck it, let's go. And at the time, I didn't have any shoes, and I just ended up bringing flip-flops. Now, if you think about it, you kind of put two and two together. Working out in flip-flops isn't the best, you know? This will come into play later in the story, but just hear me out. And so what ended up happening was Diego and I decided to skip the gym, and we kind of just walked around the block to find like a little area to where we can kind of just chill out and relax. And so we ended up finding like a complex next door, and they had like this back alleyway where there's like curbs and stuff. So we went to the back and we kind of just started chilling, you know. It was late at night, I think it was like 10 p.m. I think it was, and we were kind of just sitting down. And so he pulls out 2 joints, and I'm like, okay man, I'm not gonna smoke any, just chill here. And he was like, all right, that's fine, whatever. So he lights it up and he's smoking in. He's like, you know, this is some pretty heavy shit. And I was like, I mean, that's cool, I guess, you know, I mean, that's all you, man, go ahead. And he tells me, he's like, come on man, just one hit and you'll be good. And he's just trying to peer pressure me basically. And so I ended up, I don't know, I mean, I trust this guy, you know, I trust Diego, and I still trust him to this day. I would trust him with my life. And he convinced me to take a hit. And so this stuff, guys, was really fucking strong, and especially being 13, you know, I was kind of like, oh, what the fuck, you know, it caught me so off guard. I took one hit, started coughing my fucking lungs out, and he started laughing, you know, classic story stoner laugh. We were just sitting there, high as fuck, and he's still smoking, not even high yet. And off of one hit, I was just done. And that was the day that I figured out that I was a lightweight. And I remember he finished his first joint, and he looked at me and pulled out the second one. He was like, all right, we're gonna smoke this whole thing. And I was just like, okay, you know what? No, fuck that. Whatever, let's go. Like, I pushed the joint, like, I smacked the joint out of his hand, and he was like, what the fuck, man? I was like, bro, let's go. We gotta go. I looked down, and my mom texted me like 5 different times, and I got like 3 missed calls. And that's how you know you fucked up, right? That's how you know you're in trouble. I don't know how, though. Like, she probably suspected some shit. And I texted her, I was like, I'm going for a run right now with Diego. And she saw me before I left. So now we're gonna bring it back a little bit and kind of tie in the story, right? Remember when I told you guys that I left with flip-flops? Well, she saw me leave with those flip-flops, and her being a smart mom, or a very clever mom, if you will, she kind of thought about it, put 2 and 2 together, and she realized, who the fuck runs in flip-flops? Like, who the fuck runs in flip-flops? Especially this late at night. And I was wearing, like, I don't even know what the fuck I was wearing. I was wearing like jeans too, you know? So it was kind of very sketched out. And so she got all mad, and she was like, where are you guys right now? And I'm like, we're running on the block. And so what ended up happening was we kind of just walked, I think like for a mile and a half, and we came back. And so when we came back, we didn't want to go up there right away because we knew she would be awake. So we just headed back down to the gym, and we started working out. We're like, and I remember Diego was so kind of like convinced that working out would kind of make us not high anymore, and we would sober up instantly. It was funny because I'm imagining us, like, I don't really remember how we looked, and we just looked so stupid, dude. You guys don't even understand. And so I remember I was doing bench press, and you just hear a boom, 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 and me and Diego look at each other like, oh, fuck. I remember I opened that door with such regret. Like, it's like when your life flashes before your eyes, basically what happened. And I remember I opened that door, and she looked at me like, she got all in my face and shit, and she looked at me, she was like, are you fucking serious? And she was like, Diego, let me see your eyes. And he looks at her, and then he looks away, and she's like, Alright, Diego, you're gonna have to leave tomorrow morning when you wake up, and Dominic, you're in trouble. And that was the end of me right there. Like, that was the first time I ever got grounded, I think, for more than a week. I think she grounded me for like a month and a half or something. It was, it was ridiculous. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this commentary. So if you enjoyed, please leave a like and a favorite down below, and probably, if you can, maybe share this and tweet about it or something. Get my name out there, because I'm really trying to push, you know, to grow on this channel, and I really want to put more time into this, but I can't do that unless you guys help me and kind of make it look like it's worth it, you know? And I say look like because if I don't see no results, then, I mean, obviously I'm doing something wrong, right? So if you guys want to help me out, please do that. Share my name on Twitter, tweet me out, put a link to my video or something. Share me on Facebook, that'd be much appreciated. And maybe even on Instagram if you're feeling up to it. Alright guys, catch you all later.